We are in Matthew 25 this morning, Matthew chapter 25. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, there's a law in Michigan at least, it's child labor laws. You can't have a job if you're under 14 years old. You can't have a paying job with a paycheck if you're under 13. So I remember being in school, counting down the days when I turned 14. I wanted a job. I wanted to work. I wanted to have my mom. We were single parent home. I wanted to be. I just wanted to work and spending money. Help my mama out. That was my goal. I turned 14, go out to look for a job, and no one would hire me. No one. I went to Myers. This is no joke. I went to Myers by my house, and I for 2 days worked like 6-hour shifts collecting cards to show them how good of a carpenter I was. Because if I show them how good I am, they'll hire me. And they just work for free, never hired me. So no one would give me a shot. This 14-year-old kid, no one would give me, I would fill out like applications, and no one would give me any love of any kind. So finally, I go to this little family-owned pizza shop, like 5 miles from my house. And they hired me to be a dishwasher. $4.25 an hour. That's what a minimum wage used to be. $4.25 an hour. And I had a goal. I wanted to be the best dishwasher that place had ever seen. So I would go in there, get my big old apron on, and I would never wear the gloves because the gloves slowed me down. The gloves would fill with water, so I'm going bare hands. So you look back at the dish area, you see water spraying everywhere. I'm as fast as I can with all my stupid endurance. I want every dish in that restaurant done. A lot of the guys, what they would do is, pizza place a lot of sheet trays, big old metal sheet trays for breadsticks and stuff, and they'd stack up, literally 100 a night. Just this stack of metal trays, okay? And a lot of guys would do what they could and leave the stack for the morning. My goal every night, finish the stack. I would go as hard and as fast as I could to get that stack done. And a funny thing happened on the way to doing the dishes, okay? I'm a dishwasher, working hard at $4.25 an hour. One of my boss comes back. He's like, man, dude, you're doing great for us. Give me a quarter raise. I'm like, oh, dang, quarter raise. That's $4.25, $4.50, that's a big difference. I'm feeling all good. Then before I know it, they're like, Ernesto, I want you to come up, help answer the phone, and call in their orders. Like, okay, so I'll be on, you do dishes, phone, run up, grab the phone, write orders down, give it to the cooks. Then one day, Ernesto, show you how to make a pizza. I'm like, oh, shoot, and I start making pizzas, okay? And all I wanted to do was be a hard worker and a good dishwasher. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be a great dishwasher. And before I knew it, the raise came, I got a promotion to cook. Then I learned the salad side. I learned how to register. And before I knew it, before I left high school, I was managing a restaurant. Wow. That wasn't my goal. I didn't want to be like the manager of the restaurant. I just wanted to work hard. I had a job to do. I wanted to be faithful. I wanted to do it well. And what's crazy is how that silly job doing dishes, 25 years later, is still bearing fruit in my life. No joke. First of all, I still to this day claim to be a professional dishwasher, so you're welcome. You gotta feel bad for my wife doing the dishes, and I'm like, you're doing it wrong. No, it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm sorry. Get those kind of dishes right, I get all annoyed. I stack them like this. It's how I am. But so I got moved to cook. We had a new dishwasher in the back, showed how to be a good dishwasher. And sometimes this kid would really annoy me. He's getting my skin, and I'd be mean to him sometimes. But because I had Jesus in my life, I wanted to love him. So even sometimes he purposely, like a little brother, he just poked at me. You know, little brothers just poke. And I would get mad, I'd yell at him, I'd throw stuff at him in the back. I just get annoyed at him sometimes. But every time I lost my temper, I always said I was sorry. Because I'm like, man, I'm stupid. This person, I love this guy. I want to love him like Christ loves me. So I always said I was sorry. I thought to myself, this guy must think I represent Jesus in the workplace. He must think Jesus is a fake. He's a punk because I'm literally representing him so badly. I didn't know though that every time I was apologizing to this guy, he was seeing humility. So life goes on. I move on. He moves on. I was a kid for like 10 years. One night I call in the middle of the night, and this guy I haven't talked to in 15 years. I'm like, "What's up, dude?" He goes, "Man, I hear you're a pastor." I'm like, "I'm a pastor." He's like, "Do you know how you're driving? He's driving a truck across the country." He goes, "I just stopped at a town and went and watched a movie called The Book of Eli with Denzel Washington, okay? Sweet movie." And he watches the movie, and I'm going to ruin it for you. Spoiler alert, it's about the Bible. But he watches the movie, sees the Bible, and goes, "Ernesto, man, that movie's bothering me. Is the Bible really that powerful? Is it really true?" This is literally 15-year-old stuff. I don't talk to this kid since I was a 14-year-old, 15-year-old guy. And a decade later, fruit is being born from that faithfulness and from that hard work. I want to talk to you guys today about being faithful with our work. Being faithful with our work. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 14. Jesus has been talking for us the last few weeks, saying he's going to leave. He said, "I'm going to go away and I'm going to come back someday. And while I'm gone, while you're waiting, you got to be prepared. You got to be ready. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to leave and go to heaven, but someday I'm going to return to gather you to myself. But while you're here waiting, I have some commands for you." And here's one of his commands for us while we're waiting for Christ to return. He says, "It will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away." Okay, so we don't live in the ancient Near East. We are not Jews. We do not live in Israel. Back in Jesus' time, in America, we all have jobs, we all have houses, we can buy houses and stuff. It's cool. Back in the day, landowners were very few and far between. And most people would usually work for a landowner. If you worked for a landowner, you'd live on their land. You'd farm their land, and you're going to eat from that with the harvest. But they owned your house. They owned the crops. You worked for the landowner, and the landowner provided food, protection. There was usually an army protecting the landowner's property. It was awesome. So the landowner's leaving. This guy owns all the land. He's leaving. And as he's going, he's like, "Guys, I'm leaving. I'm calling for my servants. I'm going to give each one of you some of my money. I'm going to give one of you $5,000. Let's say that's real money. I'm giving one of you guys like 50 G's, one of you 20 G's, and one of you $10,000. The word talent means bag of money. Okay, it's bag of money. He's leaving guys bags of money. And he said, "Listen, I'm going. While I'm gone, take this bag of money, invest it, start a business. Just take this money and make it work for me while I'm gone." And then he leaves. He takes off. And what happens? He gives all 3 guys different amounts. One dude gets like 50 G's. One dude gets 20. One dude gets 10. Okay? Different amounts. Why? It says each according to his ability. So the guy who's the best businessman, he gave the most money. The guy like number 2 businessman, he gave a little less money. And the guy who had some ability, but not a lot, he gave him 10 G's. Okay? Each according to their ability. Now here's the point of this passage. We are all given work to do. I know a lot of people who ask the question, well, am I a 5-talent guy, or a 2-talent guy, or a 1-talent guy? That's not the point of the passage. The point of the passage, the point of the teaching, is we all are given work to do. We all are given work to do. Listen a small little pizza shop. We weren't Little Caesars. We weren't Domino's. We didn't have a franchise. We had one little restaurant in our little town that didn't survive the recession. Let us think that my work is made valuable by how big it is. If my company's really big, then I made it. If my work is in the papers, then I'm successful. If people give me praise and point to me and say that guy is the best mechanic in the city, then I've made it. The point is not how large the work you've been given is. The fact is we've all been given work. And listen, this is about Jesus leaving, and Jesus gives us all work to do for his kingdom. He gives us all work to do for his glory. And here's the reality. A lot of us think, this is the church's fault, not yours. It was all our fault. We're all guilty. For a long time, Americans used to think, we're going to hire a pastor, he'll do the ministry, he'll babysit us, and that's a good life. That's not what Jesus is saying. I've called the pastors to myself, all the missionaries. I've given them work to do. The rest of you, sit on your butts and love your life. That's not what Jesus said. He gave every one of us work to do. I don't know why we tend to think that the pastors and the missionaries, the full-time paid Christian workers are somehow more special to God than every other person. They're not. We all are given work to do. Listen, I don't care what your job is. I don't care if you're pushing a broom, cleaning a toilet, a CEO of a company. I don't care what your job is. You're called. Maybe your job, maybe your work right now, no joke. Maybe your work right now is raising your kids. That is a high holy calling. Maybe your work is a good job that you don't like to provide for your family. It's a high and holy calling. Whatever work that Christ has given you to do, that work you are to receive and be faithful to it. Be faithful to it. I remember once in my life, I sold everything I owned, went to India to be a missionary. Lived there for 2 years. It was a glorious 2 years. We saw God do mighty things. And then we got arrested and deported. I mean, it's just funny because a man's getting deported from India. It's like, it wasn't got Trump's email, build the wall, but stinking. I got deported from India, and it blew my life up. I remember coming home from India, so sad. I'm like, God, I thought I was being a missionary in India. Now I'm living in my wife's parents' basement. I got no job. My wife, she is pregnant. I'm like, my wife's pregnant. I'm unemployed. I sold everything I owned 2 years ago, so I got no car. I got no clothes or dresses or beds. And I'm so scared, man. I'm scared and I feel lost. My God, I thought I was doing things you told me to do, and it failed. What do I do now? And here's the reality. Whatever God's called me to do, it doesn't mean you get paid for it. I remember on the phone with my good friend and mentor, Scotty Taylor. He told me, Ernesto, what is God's purpose for your life? What do you think about? And there's an acronym he uses, an acronym called SHAPE. Okay? SHAPE. What are your spiritual gifts? Okay? What is your heart? What are you passionate about? What are your abilities? What are you good at? I mean, honestly, like I love music, but I can't stinking sing. So I'm not called to be the next like Chris Tomlin or someone else that's famous. I don't know. SHAP. Personality. What's personality like? If you come to me and say, I feel called to be like a preacher, a pastor, and you hate people, guess what? Your personality doesn't line with what you think you're called to do. Lastly, what is your experience? There's people here at Flint City who have gone through addiction and recovery. Because of their experience, They feel called to minister to other people in addiction, in recovery. So what is your shape? What do you feel called to do? And so my mentor asked me, so what are you called to do? And he's like, not what you get paid to do, but what are you called to do? Because what I do for money and what my calling is might be different. And I'm like, dude, I think my calling in my life is to teach God's word. He's like, what's stopping you? I'm like, well, no one will pay me. He goes, who cares? Teach his word to whoever God needs to teach it to. I'm in the middle of the thumb of Michigan, okay? There's like no people up there. It's like there's farmland, there's corn, there's deers, a lot of rabbits. And so he told me that, and I started thinking, I'm like, he's right. So all of a sudden we started having a youth group meeting in Angie's parents' house. Kids from the whole towns that are coming over for Bible study. It was nuts. What's nuts is our worship leader went to that Bible study. How long ago was that? That was a long time ago. He came to that thing. And I started bearing much fruit. I started telling everyone around, listen, if you need anybody to cover a pulpit, anyone to cover Sunday school, cover the night, I'm around, and no one will hire me, so I'll do it. If you need anybody, I'm around. I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't getting glory or love or recognition, but I knew I had to do what I was built to do. I mean, I went to the Apple store to become an Apple technician. You know, computers, like, you should buy this Apple MacBook Air because it's really awesome, and I need the commission. No, but but that might have been for the money, but I knew I was still called to do something for Jesus. I know we're not all called to be pastors. We're not all called to be teachers. We're not. Wherever your calling is, wherever your calling is, you got to know you were made with a purpose. You have a purpose. You don't got to be me. I don't got to be you. But we have something to do. We all have work to do. Understood? We all have work to do. We all are, listen, if I'm the only guy in the church doing ministry, loving their neighbor, and trying to be Jesus in the city, we're going to have no impact in this city. If I'm the only guy doing stuff, we might as well close these doors and not burn it down. We might as well close these doors and like serve coffee or something. Listen, if my job, my calling, is to equip the saints for the work of the ministry. I have to do it all myself, but so we all do it together because 100 ministers are more powerful than one minister. Amen. We all have work to do for the kingdom. So, gives everybody work. He received the 5 talents, went in once, traded with them, made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more, but he who had received the 1 talent went and dug it in the ground, hid his master's money. I'm reading this to my daughter this morning because she comes to me to church early because I don't know, she just loves coming early. And she said, Dad, read with me today's Bible story. So I read her this scripture. I got to that part where the guy hides the money. He started laughing. I'm like, what's the matter? And she's like, I think that's really dumb. I'm like, you're right. And she's 8 years old. She's like, I think he's in trouble. He's getting in trouble. So, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. Jesus is coming back. And if we die before he comes back, we'll face him after we die. One day we face our master. He's going to ask us the question, what'd you do with what I gave you? I gave you kids, what'd you do with them? I gave you money, what'd you do with it? I gave you influence, what'd you do with it? I gave you gifts, what did you do with them? And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing the 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here, I have made 5 talents more. You give me 50 G's? I'm giving you back 100 G's. I doubled your investment. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. Now, if you've been in church world at all for any length of time, you've heard this phrase. Well done, good and faithful servant. And for many disciples of Christ, many followers of Jesus, this is the thing we want to hear when we die. when we lay our head down and face our Maker, to hear these words would mean I lived my life well. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter the joy of your master. And he also, when the 2 talents came forward, saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here, I've made 2 more. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. Both the 5 guy and the 2 guy get the same blessing. It's not about how big your work is, how successful, how praised by man. The point is not, were you a king or a peasant? The point was, were you faithful? That's the point. If someone's a pastor of a church of like 10 people in the country of Idaho, like out in the rural sticks with cows and wolves, I don't know what I'm talking about. There's 10 people faithfully meeting. They see one person saved every 3 years. That person can hear the same thing as the biggest megachurch pastor in Brighton, Michigan. It's not about how big your platform is, how many people know your name, how many Twitter followers you have. That's not what makes you successful. The question is, have you been faithful to the work God gave you? When Paul, he said, I've kept the faith, I have finished my course. Not your course and not your course, I finished my course. So everyone has work to do, okay? And if we're faithful with our work, we will be blessed. If we're faithful with our work, we will be blessed. And that blessing is beautiful. The master loves blessing his servants. First, there's a verbal blessing. Well done, good and faithful servant. Imagine, if you will, if you're a drummer. Love playing the drums, okay? Sorry, Tony, that's all I got. If I were to go to a drummer and say, you're a great drummer, it's like, well, you don't know how to play the drums. You don't know, your accompaniment is meaningless if you don't know anything about drums. But imagine like Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters comes up to you and says, dude, you a bad drummer. Well, that would have so much weight because a great drummer just told you you're the man. Listen, having the master who is good and wise say to you, you did okay, son. You did good, son. You did good, daughter. Well done, my good and faithful servant. To hear those words of praise from someone you love and adore. I don't know if you ever received affirmation from someone you love and adore. I don't know if you ever had with your father or an uncle or a mentor, maybe your mother, I don't know, grandmother, someone you just look up to, think of them so highly. If you ever receive a blessing of words from them, it warms the heart and it means so much. That's why I so desperately want, when I finally die, not finally, but someday. I can't try. I don't know, I'm just saying. Someday when I am dead, I hope to receive those words from my master. Well done, good and faithful servant. A verbal blessing of just praise. You've done good, boy. Kirk Douglas, old school actor back in the day, he was on Barbara Walters, okay, doing an interview. And Kirk Douglas used to be the man. He was attractive. He was a sex symbol in America. He was in movies. He was the man. And so they're talking about Barbara Walters, asking him, like, you date a beautiful girl, you make all this money, everyone loves you. She said, would you say you're successful? And Kirk looks down. He goes, no. She said, what do you mean? And he starts crying. And it's man crying. It's not like he's holding it back, but there's tears up in there. And he's like, the old ragman never said I was a man. And she's like, I know what you're talking about. Well, apparently his father, sold rags on the street. And his whole life as a young man, he tried to live a life to his dad to say, I'm proud of you. His dad never gave it to him. And after all those years of success and movies and women, all together, he still had an absence of that verbal blessing. He never got his father's blessing, if you will. If we're faithful with what he gives us, we will receive that blessing from our Father. It's funny, in my life, I've always wanted that, someone to say, I'm proud of you. And I know I'm not going to get it here, I'm going to get it someday on the other side of this thing. I want to receive that from my master. Well done, good and faithful servant. You've done a good boy. There's verbal blessing. There's also a reward. He says to the guys that were faithful, he says, man, you have been faithful. Again, the word faithful. You've been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. You were good at what I gave you. I want to give you more. It's like our kids, right? When kids are growing up, if like, I'm a dog. Like you've been bad and little. I'm not letting you be bad with much. And if you do, you're a bad parent. But anyway, I mean, if my kid had a junker car, he never cleaned it, always wrecked it with oil, never changed the oil. He's like, Dad, let me borrow your sweet, well, your car better than my piece of crap car. Let me borrow your minivan, Dad. Someday I'll have something nicer, but well, probably not. But still, let me buy the minivan, Dad. I'm like, dude, you treat your car like crap. Well, I give you my car and you treat like crap. But if you're faithful with what you've been given, imagine like, man, you're faithful over a little. I'm going to give you more. I'm going to bless you with more opportunity, more ability. I want to give you more opportunity to succeed. Faithful with the little. It's a very important principle. People come to me sometimes. We'll have a visitor come to church for the first time. It happens with the like when I was in Waterford all the time. Some new family would come to church. They'd come to see me, Pastor. In the old church, I was the man. I want to be the man here. I'm like, look, I've not seen faithfulness from you in any way. Why would I give you the keys to the kingdom? Listen, clean toilets for a while. If you do that good, maybe I'll let you clean the stinking sinks. Like, I'm like, start small, dude, and we'll see how it goes. I'm serious about that, actually. But, faithful over little. So you're blessed with a verbal blessing. You're blessed with more opportunity. You're blessed with more responsibility. And that is blessing. But also, so this last blessing, he says, enter into the joy of your master. Come out with me. My life is joyous and full of goodness. You come hang out with me. Enter into my joy. Be with me. Imagine you're like a hero. Some writer, some singer, some celebrity. You're a hero. And you meet them. They sign an autograph for you. You're like, oh man, I got this. And they say, hey, listen, dude, you're kind of cool. Let's hang out. That'd be bad to the bone. The master, not only does he affirmation verbal, not only does he give us more opportunity, he's like, let's be friends. Hang out with me. Come into the joy that is my life and experience the goodness that comes from living like I live. We can enter into the presence and the life of Christ. If we're faithful to our Lord, we are blessed. What is your work? If you're called right now to raise small children, that's a thankless job, isn't it? My daughter, the other day, got some food on her table. I'll tell you this story first. Angie, when she was a little girl, got Brussels sprouts given her the first time. Your Brussels sprouts are like small little green circles. And she got one, she ate it, and it disgusted. She ran to the trash, she spit it in the trash. So gross. It was back to her plate, and there's 3 more out there. She's like, what's going on? Her dad's like, your mom made those for you. Don't ever spit out your mom's cooking again. Eat those 3. I was like, Mr. Bob's the man. But my daughter the other day got some food from my wife, and she's like, she had an attitude about it. She's like, I didn't want this. And I'm like, I think you meant to say, Lena, thank you, Mom, for bringing me dinner and taking care of me every day of my life. That's what you meant to say? She's like, yes. I'm like, say it! I'm like, Mom's good to us, so stop being like this. We should stop cooking and I'm not going to eat ever again. But listen, I don't know what your work is. I don't know what your work is. Maybe you work at a job where your boss doesn't give a rip about you. I don't know. Maybe you're serving in a ministry in this church and no one ever says thank you for what you do. That's going to happen. Whatever we're being called to do, we're faithful because the Master gave it to us. Not because we want everyone to give us a clap on the back. Not we don't do it for the money. We do it because we know what we're built to do. And if we're faithful to the work He's given us, we will be blessed. What if we're not faithful? What if we say, I don't want to do it? So, verse 24, he also, who had received the 1 talent, came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your money in the ground. Here, you have what is yours. The master answered him, You wicked and lazy servant. He did nothing with what he was given. He buried it in the ground. Now, when the master came back, he had an excuse, didn't he? He had an excuse. Oh man, I thought you were hard. You're a mean dude. I'm scared of you. So I just buried it. Listen, lazy people always have excuses. Always. In the Proverbs, there's this great verse in the Proverbs where it says the sluggard says, I cannot work today. There's a lion in the city. There's a lion in the city. Now that's a good reason to call him sick to work. There's a lion. But the point of the passage is instead of saying that, this guy would be like, man, there's lions outside. What one eats me outside? You know, it's like me saying, I can't help you move today. There's bears in Michigan. That's a crazy to say out loud, okay? It's an excuse. And lazy people always have excuses. Always. There's always reasons not to work, not to try, to bury our gifts, to bury our passions, to bury our talents in the ground. That is an excuse. But maybe it's not an excuse. Maybe he really is scared of the master. He says, I think you're a hard man. And I was scared of you, so I hid it. If that's the truth, it's more sad. Here's the reality. If we have a wrong view of God, it might stop you from serving Him. If you live in fear of Him, afraid to mess up, maybe you'll be afraid to try it. If you work at a job site, and your boss will discriminate at you for doing anything wrong, you might not ever try to do anything new because you're afraid to get yelled at by your boss. You just wait for someone else to do it first. Okay, I guess I'll do that. Like you just do the least amount of work in the safest way possible if you fear the man. But we see the master loves blessing his servants. The master is not some mean, hard man. I mean, is he strong? Yeah, he's strong. But if we have a wrong idea of who he is, it might stop us from being faithful. He is not some hard, mean. He loves blessing his servants. He wants to praise us. He wants to give us more. He wants to invite us into his presence. That's what he wants to do. As a father, I want to bless my kids verbally. I want to buy them everything they want, and I want to know with them. But if they're bad, I will correct them. This guy buries his talent in the ground. And a lot of us do the very same things. A lot of us have been gifted with spiritual gifts by God. We've been given passion for certain things. We've been given talent. unique personality by the Lord. We've been given a unique set of experiences by God himself. A lot of us just bury in the ground and watch TV and sit on our butts our whole life. And we waste what he gave us. We bury it in the dirt. He comes back like, well, was it bad? Okay. You didn't kill anybody. You didn't save anybody either. You wicked and lazy servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown, I gather where I scattered no seed. You ought to at least invested my money with bankers and by coming to receive what was mine with interest. The talent from him and give it to him was at 10 talents. Take his one bag of money, give it to the guy who already has 10. He goes to zero, that guy's going to have 11 bags of money, $110,000. For everyone who has will more be given. He'll have an abundance. From the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. If we are not faithful, we're thrown outside. We're thrown outside. Everyone talk about hell. There's always hell like fire. Like your face just melts off for eternity. That's hell. Listen, one of probably the scariest description of hell there is in the Bible is just removal from God's presence. That you see that light, you see that work, you know that love, and then you are removed from it. And it is not yours. You're outside the family, outside the house. If we're not faithful, will we throw outside? So, I gave everybody a card. A little connection card. Now we're going to use them. Here's what I do. I don't want you to bury your gifts in the sand. I want you an opportunity to serve and to love others. So I'm going to go over some ways you can serve in this church and in this neighborhood. Okay? So I'm going to start with technology. Give me technology real quick. Okay, technology and the arts coming at you on the screen. Booyah! Okay. If you're here and you say, you know what, I run a computer on Sunday. We need someone to do words. You know when you sing songs, the words are on the screen? People do that, keep the words going nice. Nick, when you started doing this, Nick, are you a computer guy? No. He's not! I believe him. No, but he was? He was willing. He was willing. Maybe how about computer on Sundays? Maybe you're here, go back. I'm not done. Okay. I mean, it's a little hard, Maybe you're gifted musically. Maybe you love music. Listen, we love having many people in the church that express and use their musical gifts to worship and to lead us in worship. Listen, it's not like we want to see musicians raise up. If my daughter is 8 playing piano, I long for the day when she's older and gets better to see her out there playing keys, man. Like this, we want to see other people using their gifts. If you love music and can play an instrument, maybe you can help be up here in the worship team. Run the soundboard. Maybe you have a good ear for music. You listen to music on the radio. You hear different instruments. Maybe you'd like to learn how to help us run the soundboard, mix music for us every Sunday. Maybe if you don't worry about it. I'm saying if you have those gifts, if you run a video camera for the church. Right now, my wife runs it every single Sunday. I have to give her a break 1 week, If you're good at technology or computers or sound, we have needs, okay? If you're here, makes things that I'd like to serve one of those ways. Write down, I'd like to serve in this way. Maybe that's not you. Let's go to the next one. Go to the next one. Maybe you love bringing Jesus to people, okay? We're starting brand new today a prayer chain in the church. People text me all the time and say, I need prayer. I pray. I don't want to tell everyone else. to pray for this person. If you have a heart for praying for people, join the prayer team to pray for the needs of church as they are arising. If we don't meet, it's at your house or in your car. It's just a little thing you get an alert saying, prayer need. You pray for it right there. You want to be in the prayer team? Sign up today. Maybe you're here and you want to just, you know what, I love people, I want to help people know Jesus more. Become a small group as a leader. So I'm going to help a group learn to get closer to Jesus. Become a group leader. Join our jail team. We go into jails probably once every other month. You want to join us in the jails and loving people who are just at the edge of oblivion. Come with us, men and women both. There's more men teams go in. There's only one girl floor. We go to minister to the girls sometimes too. If you join a jail team, listen, it doesn't mean you got to go every time. It means you get an email every time we're going, so you can jump in when you're able, when you're available. Maybe you have a heart for addicts. Did you know we have a ministry every Sunday night? We minister to addicts, those in recovery, and we need people to serve and love our addicts. Maybe that's you. Jump in and help out. What else we got? Maybe you're blessed with you have great love for people, great patience for people. Listen, if one of these speaks to you, write it down in the card. Say, I want to serve on this team. You can write down more than one. You write down more than one, and this week will contact you on how to get involved. Maybe you're here and you are willing to love babies. Our nursery director has sat in church in 3 years like 3 times. If we had enough people in the nursery, you'd come to church more. Are you willing to hold a baby for the sake of Jesus Christ? Toddlers, they're different than babies, so they can move, which is a whole different thing. But if you're a little toddler, they do crafts, they can receive the word. Listen, my daughter and my wife both got saved when they were 4 years old. Maybe you'll be there doing a craft with a kid, and knowing Jesus, and you get to be their seed and enter into the kingdom. Boom. Host a small group. You got a house, and you love hosting and making snacks in little bowls and being cool. Host a small group. I was like, give them gifts. I don't know. I don't like that. Maybe you do. Guest services team. Maybe you're here and you like shaking hands and meeting people. Join our guest services team. Hold the door and give a hand for the glory of God on Sunday morning. Maybe you like cooking. Maybe you're here and you are blessed with the gift of making awesomeness. Okay? When our people get sick, we do meal trains. Right now it's the same, like 4 families, we make dinners for everybody. Help us take care of our people. You want to know something good? Right now, serving others. Maybe you're here and you're like, I'm not all about spiritual talk and stuff, but I can use my hands. Maybe help clean the office once a month. Maybe make coffee. You already have coffee Sunday morning every Sunday here? That'd be awesome. Maybe you're here and you can swing a hammer. You have a gift of building things. I do not have that gift. I can carry stuff. Oh, I kind of blew my ankle up as me carrying something, but usually I carry stuff. But some of you guys are gifted in building things. We can call sometimes for people that just need maybe a wheelchair ramp fixed up. So listen, we'd love you to call our church and say, hey, listen, all the crew that want to be notified, we have a need. It doesn't mean you got to go every time we do something. It just means you'll get the email when the opportunity arises. Security. We got to have security for our babies. We do. We got to keep that locked down up there. So we just got to keep things locked down for our kids. If you want to be here, if you have experience with security and are willing to protect our treasured ones, and want security, we'd love to have you. Pick people up on Sundays. We have people in our church that love coming and call us place their home when they arrive. Right now we have like one dude that does it every week. He'd love to have some help. There's sometimes I say no to people who don't have enough vehicles to get everybody. Food service and prep for our community. Listen, we do a lot of cooking in our city. We need more grill men. We need more cookers, bakers, people. And tonight for our recovery service, we're making dinner for all of our guys in recovery. I'd love to have help with that kind of stuff. If you are here and love making food or prepping food, we put you on the list, and whenever opportunity arises, we'll email you, you don't got to do it every time. Just means you get the heads up when the time arises. Church vehicle maintenance. Maybe you're here and you know something about cars. You want to keep our church van and church truck running. They need help. They're like all our vehicles we own as a church we got for free. Like the van Billy Graham gave to us. No joke. Billy Graham gave us that van, and for a while it said Billy Graham on the side. I left it there for a whole year. Then he passed away, and everyone was like, "Oh man, Billy Graham's his organization's in town." I'm like, "No, he just gave it to me a year ago." Oh, got to change it finally. Church time. But our van is an old school van. Got to keep that thing running for our kids. Going taking our kids to the campfire. We want to make it there and back. Help us keep our our van running. So I just gave you a bunch of opportunities. I hope. Write something down. I want to serve in this way. If you're already serving, keep being faithful. If you're not serving, ask the question, how can I do something to use my gift, to use the gift God gave me to bring my master to glory? If maybe you need to go and talk to your family about it, you've got to sign up for them now. As you're leaving, you can grab some sheets that have every ministry broke down in more detail. Okay? You can grab some on the way out. If you want to sign up today, on the way out, give our table people the card saying, I want to serve. I wrote down I want to serve. Hand to them. We will contact you this week. I would love to see some of our people. Get involved. I don't care if you have 5 talents, 2 talents, or 1. Whatever you have given from the Lord, let us use our gifts for God's glory. Amen? Amen. Let's go ahead and pray, and we'll call it a God in heaven, we are here, and we do await for your return. But let us be faithful while we wait. Let us work while we wait. Whatever giftings you've given us, whether abilities, whether our passions, our experiences, give us a heart to give some of this to your people, to your kingdom, for your glory. Lord, let this day be a starting point in many people's lives as they begin to take a step of faith to serve others in your name. We love you. We're grateful. The day is yours. Amen.